Welcome to the talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. And this is Sinha M.A. Saeed anchoring this very talk show. Viewers, today we have invited two very important guests. One is Mr. Ameen Ahmed Afsary. He is one of the leading personalities, at the same time executive convener of Reform Party. How are you, Mr. Afsary?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Other being Mr. Mahmud Reza Chowdhury. He is basically settled in USA and now visiting Bangladesh. One of the leading writers, columnist, and very strong person in the field of talk shows. How are you, Mr. Reza?
Thank you very much, Sinha.
Well, Mr. Afsary, you know very well that Mr. Dr. Yunus is leading this interim government, and almost 65 days has passed. What is your overall assessment on the performance of the government led by Nobel laureate Dr. Yunus?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. At first, I like to thank you, Dr. Sinha M.A. Saeed, known as a global voice, and you are actually a charismatic personality and media person. I also like to thank Crown Cement and SATV for producing this sorts of English talk show, which is very new in our television culture. Again, I like to thank Mr. Mahmud Reza Chowdhury, NRB, for joining us in this talk show, and I hope we will have a good discussion. Finally, I also like to thank who all are actually the owner of this country, general citizen, who all are sitting in front of the screen of SATV and enjoying our talk show. And let's start with the topic. You have picked up a very important topic for today and a very burning issue. But at first I like to say this 2 months is not a very long time to judge a government. But I feel this government has got some drawbacks from initial stage. Number one, the very name interim government. I don't think that after a revolution and bloodshed, I think all the chair of this government is floating on the blood of martyrs. 1,000 martyrs, 2,200 wounded. They are in hospital and they lost their parts, and 500 has become blind. 65 children were killed. That sort of government is not simply, should not be a only interim government. It could be a interim revolutionary government or like that. Secondly, the present president, who was actually the president of past dictator and fascist government. And third problem is the constitution. With old constitution, but we are always fighting and trying to go for new Bangladesh. So with this old president and old our constitution, how can we go proceed? It is actually a mixture of something which is not pure, which is not actually, they could not, I think, understand the pulse of the people who were in this revolution and movement. Actually, the team of Dr. Yunus is very qualified man. He is very known face to throughout the world, but his team is very weak. I think nobody could say any word before 5th August against this fascist government. So, and again, they are very old, experienced, but if you find 2 young advisors, they are doing better, they are focused, they are working every day, they are talking to the general people every day, and they are earning the mind of people. But other than one or two, maximum advisors are just sitting in the secretariat, and we are not finding them also. If you call them, you will not get. If you go there, reception will tell that, please sir, call him and come. So there is no connection with the general people with this government. You know, I am a executive convener of Sanskar party. People may think that this party may be inaugurated after 5th. No. We start with this reforms work from very long time ago. This government was formed 8 August. There was 3 days, 5 to 8, there was no government. This is our dynamic chief of army staff around the show. And 24 August, we have submitted this Sanskar, Sharbik Sanskar Prastabana, complete proposal for reform. Every advisor and including chief advisor has got this. I don't know, they are going through this or they are not even could make any rapport with the political party also. So we suggested 10 commission, permanent commission, not temporary. This 10 commission can work and we can solve any problem in this 10 head. So we think this, even people are telling that they should increase the advisor. But we don't think, we think 10% is sufficient for main driver. After that, there may be some state minister or state advisor like that, but 10 men. Now you think if 64 advisor sit in front of chief advisor, after breakfast, after lunch, how much talk, how much discussion they can do. So team should be very small, effective, dynamic, and even in our administration, in the secretariat, you will find so many secretaries, and there are so many step and a class of secretaries. They are sitting, gossiping, but working some few people.
Thank you very much. I will come to you again. Mr. Mahmud Chowdhury, you listen to what Mr. Ameen Afsary uttered this time. What is your understanding about the performance of this government?
Thank you, Sinha, for having me here. And thank you, Major Afsary, for your very thoughtful ideas. Welcome. Yes, I do agree that it is too early to justify this government's failure or success. You see, the last 50 years, especially last 15 years, we never actually work for the country's real development for the people. Whatever we try to do to develop our own interest, our own party leaders' interest, and our own social group's interest. Due to that reason, there is a lot of mishap and corruptions and immorality and insufficient leadership grown. It's not by one day, but it's grown eventually. In that mixture of the situation, as I am a student of sociology, and my friend Sinha is today's master in the show, he is a student of political science. So he looks and views the situation through the political windows. But me, I always try to look into sociological point of views. And I believe, Dr. Sinha, that a man can change, say 2 years, 3 years, or in 1 month. A family can change, a government can change, a state can change, but a society cannot change in the short term. They take even 100 years. Your mindset, your philosophy, your attitudes, your education, your self-awareness, it takes time. We have learned, Sinha, you also know about it, that whatever we have learned, the basic concept about the life, we learned it from the family. We saw our father, our uncle, our brothers, our grandfathers. We saw that what is the values of the honesty, integrity, responsibility and discipline. But nowadays, after the liberation of Bangladesh, you will see that we lost that discipline in every sector of the life. Everything we want instant coffee like. So I believe that that culture actually turned out a bigger problem, that we are not disciplined, we are not focused, we are not looking for the other interest but for my interest. So this is not easy for any government. Even the angels comes from a sky to run the country, it will be very difficult. So it is not Yunus only, it is we also. So kill the cats in your most wonderful night in your life.
That is bright night.
First night.
Yes, but we didn't. We failed to do that. First is that we took oath under the President Shahabuddin Chuppu, as you also mentioned. That is a major mistake, I believe. Second mistake, I think the government couldn't understand what they will do. They didn't take the exemplary any action of the long terms, the corruptions, immorality, killings. They don't take, and they didn't. So far I remember Mr. Yunus' first speech to the nation, he didn't mention about it, nothing. But he should mention that whatever happened in the past, especially killing of the innocent people, killing of the children, and firing from the helicopter to the innocent people, there first they will stand in front of what is called in the front of law, and they will be punished immediately. They could put some kind of example to the nation. They didn't. They were talking about different things which takes long term, but immediate action should be taken, because it is not a revolutionary government, but it came through by some kind of revolution. I will not say it fully revolution. It is not a revolution. It was not a revolution, but they could take some revolutionary action. On the first day they took oath, but they failed to take the oath. But after then, what we noticed, Sinha, that a lot of people, a lot of corner of the people, they are trying to criticize this government because they have a different mindset.
Thank you very much. I will come to you again.
Sure.
This is a time to go for a short break. Viewers, we are going for a short break. Please keep watching. Viewers, we are back to the talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. And we were having talks with Ameen Ansari and Mr. Mahmud Reza Chowdhury. Mr. Ameen Ansari, many things are going on at this very moment. You talked about the cabinet and you assessed from your own point of view. But the question is that you are talking about the 10 ministers that should be qualified to run the whole administration. But do you think that 10 ministers should be qualified, having the overall consideration from the public's perspective? Who has the enough rapport with the people? Are you satisfied?
Thank you. I'd like to correct my name. I'm not Ansari. Actually, I'm Afsary. Afsary. Thank you. Before that, some good point I'd like to tell about this government. This government has achieved some good positive points also. Number one, they could maintain a very good international connection with UN, World Bank, IMF, etc., all over the world. They could be managing and counter revolution sometimes, like judicial coup, students unrest in secretariat, answer problem, battery rickshaw problem with government worker, and other so many problems they could solve within 2 months, and they will do more better, I hope. They are going slow, but they are working. They could manage some financial management they could ensure, like Bangladesh Bank and other financial organization. In that sector, they are going, I think, through the correct path. And relation with a neighbor country like India, Pakistan and SAARC country, they are thinking and they are throwing their opinion also. Before 5th August, we didn't get it. So they are doing some work in that side also, and they are trying to raise the SAARC. SAARC also can keep some good role in this area. They could reactivate the metro rail by very less of time and less of money. This is I like to give them credit for that. They could withdraw handsome money from previous project. There are some project with surplus money. I think they could make it plan to modify. So that money is coming back to the government. Is a very important job they are doing. And reforms of police, they are just going up day by day. They are recruiting policemen and officer also. And they are continuously reshuffling civil and military officers, higher rank officer. And I think they are doing their better. Again, reforms of political party, what you have told already. If this government done everything, reforms of election commission, reforms of judiciary, reforms of security forces, voter system, everything. But our voter is failed. If failed to give proper vote in proper time to proper man, then all will go in vain. So I think this reform should start from the very individual, society, political party, and everybody. This is not a task of only for government. The government has come and they will give us a reform, and political party will come through election and they will throw it out. We don't want that sorts of reform after losing these sorts of sacrifice, blood and whatnot. So again, we forget very quickly. We cannot see 5 days ago or 1 week in front. We have lost so many things, but as if we have forgotten everything. We are just fighting with the extortion, ijara, any tender or work, government work, position, we are fighting each other. Even another very peculiar thing, we are fighting to show our credit in revolution. Who has done how much credit they could earn? You see, everybody is telling, or all parties trying to tell, I have got so many martyred. But they are not telling how many wounded person from their party. Because wounded person has got mouth. He'll tell, no, I was never with this party. But who is dead, martyred, they cannot say, I am not from that or this party. I was a simply van driver, but martyred. So, to earn credit, grave credit, we are very much fast, but do the responsibility, fulfill the task and cooperate with government, that tendency is very weak. So I think, Mr. Sinha, you are doing a very good thing that we are talking about democracy, about government, about politics, and whatnot, and in English, which is going outside the country. You are doing tremendous job, I think. And we also should cooperate each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mahmud Reza Chowdhury. A very oceanic sense of frustration and deprivations are on in the very mind of those who played a vital role in calling the Afsars or downfall of Sheikh Hasina regime. Why the frustrations are on?
As a nation, we are always like to do something. We are not encourage ourselves that much, but we frustrate ourselves too much. Everywhere our wish is that our all dreams comes true, but it is not the reality. When I dream something, I have to know that how much capacity I have or how much I am justified to my dream to fulfill that. You see, from the very beginning, after the inception of Bangladesh in 72, you are very much aware, we had one dream that everything will be golden Bangla. Whatever our leaders come, no problem will be there. We'll be in the peaceful nation. We'll be another wonderful country in the whole world. But if you see what happened, within less than 3 years, the frustration grew up. Within 3 years. Because the man who led the country, he may be the very great leader in his dream, but not in execution. So the dreams fall down and people get frustrated. Same thing happened in here. The time we criticize the past government, especially Sheikh Hasina, after she flew or she had been turned out, we thinking now that whatever she did, like that everything is okay. Now this government is make us more frustrated, but it is not true. I mean, whatever we lose, we make some kind of emotion for that, but whatever we gain, we don't have encourage ourselves for that to grow it. So this is one of the reason. And another two reason is this country is divided totally. One is pro-Awami, one is anti-Awami. So the pro-Awami, this is a very old organization of about 70 years organization. They have a very roots level connection with the people. And they especially last 15 or 20 years, they only listen what is Shadinata from the mouth of Sheikh Hasina, not even Awami League. What is the Deshoprem or patriotism, they learn it from Sheikh Hasina. Even you see what was his language, body language, even everything. I remember once upon a time, long time ago, Abdul Ghaffar Chowdhury wrote a story, and he said that in Bangla, Chiner Dukkho Huangho Nodi, Bangladesher Dukkho Sheikh Hasinar Ukti. The way she declined. Now, you see, some corner people, they are mad to, in idea about the Sheikh Hasina, because I'm giving you another example. In Jugantor Putrika, after a few days of this new government, Ahmed Kamal or Mahbub Kamal, I think his name, senior journalist, he wrote an article. First he started that, Amra ki ar kokhono Mongol Shobhajatra dekhbo na? Amra ki ar kokhono Robindra Sangit shunbo na? What does it mean? A senior journalist, if he writes in a national paper like this, what message he want to give? So we are always try to point out the people's negativity, but we don't think that, hey, everybody has some kind of backness, some kind of limitation, some kind of misunderstanding. You have to give the political party some time to reform themselves. Now there is no political party, but I do admit that without the political party, you cannot fix a nation. Because it is not mystery. Nowadays you see the people are writing and people are criticizing, this is high, this price is high, that price is high. To come down the price in tolerance level, it is not the function of the present government. They didn't increase this price. We did, the past government, this past system did. So I think the frustrations are always have a negativity or negative mind working behind that. So I believe that this kind of attitude we need to more grow. And as you said, your party is Reform Party, so you prove that you are reformist. Okay, so because you have to talk something new, you have to talk something innovative, you have to talk something dynamic that actually no nation grow in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It takes long time. And unfortunately, our experience of last 50 years is very much negative. There is no government except here or there for a few times who tried to save this country in the real sense. They failed. We killed them. We killed 2 presidents. Whatever the criticism is different, but we killed them. Killing is not a solution. And without politics, nothing can be done in proper way. So I believe the political government and the civil political government with a political sense of responsibility mean the reform. Okay, and then the new things let us come in front of us, and all political parties should be united to grow the country, not the party, not the leader. And our leader worship or hero worship need to be come down and need to be in zero level to grow the nation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahmud Reza. Viewers, we are going for a short break. Please keep watching. Viewers, we are back to the talk show Promise in Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement, and this is Sinha Ahmed Saeed anchoring this very talk show. We are having talks with two giant speakers. One is Mr. Mahmud Chowdhury, other is Ameen Afsary. Both of them are very brilliant from their own standpoint of view. And the question is, Mr. Afsary, the very cabinet led by Nobel laureate Professor Thomas Yunus is not up to the hopes and aspirations of those who played vital role for calling the fall of Sheikh Hasina regime. Question is, do you think induction of those political parties and groups into the cabinet is a call of the time?
A very tough question. Before that, I'd like to say something about other thing. One thing is that you see the big political party are called by this government. You know, all big problem created by the big party. So I like to say, all party, including registered or unregistered, all parties should be called, and this Professor Yunus should meet each and every stakeholder. Then he will get something new and better, I think. You see, these reforms could start from more, previously we could start. We talked about this reform in 2007-8, and that became a abuse, and Sanskar Ponthi, they ousted from the party, they were not allowed in the society and in the party. At that time, I also thought about the reforms. That time I wrote this book. That I published this book, Formula 1. It's the reforms, on reforms, this book, and human development. Here I written two chapters. One is reforms is needed for defense forces, and reform is needed for journalists. If that time the reform could done, then our Lieutenant General could not go out, fly away from the border, and big journalists could not be try to go out from the country and crossing the boundary border through jungle. So we should need, I think that we should go for total reforms. Half-done reforms will not suffice. So there are many sorts of counter revolution or naughty people are within the society, within the party, within the classes, within the workers, within the market. Everywhere bad people. That bad people increased in through last 17 years. So one day we cannot clear by these 21 people. Totally we cannot filter this nation.
Please come to the point about the cabinet.
Cabinet, I think, I told you that we think and we can prove 10 ministers can run the country anywhere. You see, we have given.
And that is not the question of 10 ministers. I am talking about whether the political parties and those who played role in the movement should be inducted into the cabinet or not.
That is, there is a problem. If they call the political party, then it will become a political government. Then this government will conduct the election. Then how this party again will join the election? So that also suggestion I have given, we have given, there should be a commission or committee type from all party, pressure group or advisory, another team who will give advice and watch the whole work of government, and they will share it. But if they themselves put in the government, then it will be again create problem, I think. So politician should not go for this interim government. Then again, I told that this government is golden stone pot, সোনার পাথর বাটি, যেটা impossible. So if we put politician in that government, again it will become another golden stone pot. So it will not work as per our research, our thinking. I don't know, my friend, what he will say, but I don't agree. Interim government should not abduct any political leaders or political party with them. Before that, another thing I like to say, Awami League is one party. They are supported 14 party. One is opposition party, another one, and 27 party took join in the election, last election. These 42 party, what will be decision about this party? This decision should be taken fast. Already about Jatiyo party, we are thinking, today Rangpur is very hot in social media. Someone telling that they will not allow there, and someone telling that that is not their own place. So these problems should be solved first. Then how they will interact with the political government, that should be find out on discussion. But I don't think that politicians should be taken in the interim government.
Thank you very much, Mr. Afsary. Mr. Mahmud Reza Chowdhury, your pen and voice are on in a full volume. And living in America, you know better well that election to the office of the President of America is going to take place on 5th of November. If there is any debacle means whether Mr. Trump or Kamala Harris, who will win, nobody knows, but still there is predictions. There is a possibility of Kamala Harris, but recent poll says that Mr. Trump may be a new thought. What is your focus?
Thank you, Sinha. It's a very important question for me especially because I live in the country. In my observation, it's till today I'm talking with you, it's a 50-50. Because the Trump has some points that he represents a white nationalist group, and Kamala Harris represents a different mixture group. But the question about Kamala Harris is, number one question, she is a lady, and American mass people still hesitate to accept a
Lady as a
woman as their president. It's not the black, because color is already proved that Obama was also black. So that is the big one crisis for the Kamala Harris. Second crisis is this Kamala, who is, you are saying, after she is declared as a candidate for president, before the time, that Kamala you can compare, because this Kamala is more aggressive, more enthusiastic, more leadership voiced, and her partner, her vice president, also very pragmatic and very aggressive person. So that's attract some people's attentions. Wow, what is happening?
Waiting for that.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you know that Trump, he never smiled. He always focused his own interest. He only understands himself only. He's a businessman. Somehow he managed whatever he managed in his business, but all by corruption. But you see, what I like to give the credit to Donald Trump, his mental strength. A lot of things is going around him, but he is very much as he was always, talking and criticizing and mocking the candidates, opposition, is like as he did in 2016 also. So now, especially the Middle East war, Gaza versus Israel, and American attitude, especially Biden's attitude towards Israel, it makes a different emotion to the Muslim citizens of the country. So there is a chance, and you see the Donald Trump is very intelligent, he don't pass any direct comment. He said, if I had been there, finish it within an hour, like the way he talks. So he's not going this or he's not going that part. But Biden is taking part already, So that might affect on this, because always, the voter decision beside the Bangladesh decided with the swing voters, because one party A, one party B, but there is people who are not A or B, but they decide at the last moment to whom they will vote. That's a big question. And you see the American democracy, though I don't agree to call it democracy, it's a basic democracy where from Ayub Khan also take this idea, and because this president, how much the popular vote you get, that not decide that you will be president, the electoral vote will decide you. So I have a doubt personal that whether Kamala will get the majority in that electoral vote. That's I have a doubt. But she made. But now is a fight with Georgia. Is another deciding country, Atlanta, Georgia. Kamala also fighting for that, and Bush is, Donald Trump is fighting for that, So still now we have few days left for the next election. But so far I understand, I heard that Donald Trump has another destruction plan, because he, in all interview, he didn't accept the question or answer the question that if you lose the election, whether you'll accept it. He didn't accept it. His mind is set. He will not accept it unless he win the election. So he might try, but my question is this: when he was the power, that time, how much influence he has on the government institution? Now he don't enjoy that power. So there is to be or not to be questions. So I believe Sinha is a very good question, because American politics is actually matters still in the whole world. So people in our country also, some part they want that in abroad also, they want Trump should come. They think if Trump comes, then other opposition government can work. But I believe, so far my idea, the Yunus, as long he is the head of the state, if even they change in the cabinet, probably Yunus will be the number one person under him, because Yunus' image is a great plus. His image is even more than Modi. So in my question, your question directly replies is still we are in 50-50, to be or not to be. What will be?
If there is any change, suppose Trump is a winner, shall it have any impact on Bangladesh and on India?
If Trump is win, then there will be, Bangladesh is less concerned to the America except in some
Are you
cases.
talking about India?
India, yes. If Trump is win, because Trump is basically supporter of Indian, because he is not support of the Muslims world. He is anti, as like India. So India may get the more benefit out of it. But every year everything has changed. But it will be like 2016, 17, 18? We don't know. It could be the different, because the world map will be differently, set after if Trump comes, because his vision and mission and the action, whatever you call, is different than others. So I believe, because he's a 76 plus, but still his stamina, is much better than Biden. That's why Biden, lastly, even you see our present chief of the interim government, Yunus, 86 years, I believe so. His stamina is really very good. So I believe that still Sinha is a very undecided question at this moment to say that who will be winning the picture. But the people's sentiment, majority people's sentiment soft to the Kamala Harris, because Kamala is firstly, she always talk in smiling face, and she is very much, you see probably that Donald Trump refused to make a second debate with Kamala, because she knows that he cannot stand. So I believe that still 50-50 or 49-50, because American election not like a Bangladesh election, because there also people don't vote that much, 40 to 45%. But now this time probably will go more, because all black women, black people, they are getting united for the Kamala. So if Kamala I will not surprise if Kamala win, but I'm surprised if Donald Trump win.
Thank you very much. Mr. Afsary, just 1 minute on America.
3 seconds. I like to satisfy you.
On America specifically.
Before that, I like to say one line. That is, no more politician in this government. They should take more student and young fighters. About America,
Yeah.
I think we can assume that if A comes, B comes, then that will happen. But I think America policy will run as per their state policy. And as we have got Yunus, Dr. Yunus, so if there would be any other person, then I would think in other way. And this, I think, I heard that Sheikh Hasina also waiting for that election. Who is coming? Is smiling. So everybody is looking after the individual. But I think America is America. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ameen Afsary, and thank you, Mr. Mahmud Reza. Viewers, we are about to end this talk show. Before ending the talk show, I have to summarize what these two giant speakers spoke, commented and reviewed the whole thing, especially Mr. Ameen Afsary talked about the politics of Bangladesh, and he has his own mind to study all this thing because he is one of the leading figures in the party known Reform Party. And he also believes that there should be no induction from the political parties into the cabinet. Rather, it should come from the students and the young groups other than the political parties. At the same time, Mr. Mahmud Chowdhury, who is from the America, citizen from America, and now he is in Bangladesh, but he's always attached with the American politics and American thoughts, and he believes that if there is any change in the presidency of USA, there may be some sorts of blast between the relationship between India and America, because Trump is prone to Mr. Modi, and they are closely associated. And Trump's beliefs not in the interest of the Muslims, rather is allied towards Hindus, I mean India. And if there is any change, which Mr. Ameen Afsary believes that whether there will be any Trump or Kamala, there will be no change of foreign policy there. But thing is not so. Once upon a time, it was true. But the days ahead of, we are having the new picture. The persons who lead the government, his thoughts goes fast. And Trump is such a character, very much unpredictable. And he doesn't care anything. What he believes, he goes like a monster. And that is a big threat for the politics of the subcontinent. At the same time, Bangladesh, because here is Dr. Yunus, he is a Nobel laureate and very friendly to all the civilized countries, especially the Western groups. Even his access to China, his access to India, his access to Russia, open, especially, but when the question of politics arises, Dr. Yunus faces some problems from India, because India has own interest in Bangladesh, especially the northeastern issue state. And that is a different picture. Here the Nobel laureate cannot do anything. It is a political question, not the question of aid. That is the first and foremost question. If there is any change, maybe Professor Yunus may not have the equal acceptance to Mr. Trump, because Trump is highly linked with the Modi, and Modi is now, Sheikh Hasina is now in India, and it is believed, and it is said, Hasina is waiting for the change in the administration of America. But what is true, what is not true, it needs to be seen in the future. And thank you very much. We'll come to you in the next post-talk show. Thank you.